A pleasure to meet all at last. And now, here we are, part 4 of 4. This is the quadrilogy of episodes of Nerf Secret Revealed Season 7 that will completely tie in with the film Nerf Secret Revealed Bolts of Intrigue. Now, Bolts of Intrigue, of course, was a really massive project of mine that I ended up taking full charge on, as well as, tying in a lot of stuff to it. I made so much about this film itself. I really could give myself more than just a pat on the back and the things that, well, I could simply celebrate the fact that I had made myself my very first ever feature film that ties into the Nerf Secret Revealed franchise. It's also the first ever full feature film that I had released in Nerf Secret Revealed history. So that's another thing out there that I should probably remember for all time. But I guess here in part 4, what I'm just going to go through at this point is just, I'm going to talk about two things here. Two things. Whereas in the other 3 parts I mainly just talked about one subject that would tie into the film itself. But here, I'm probably just going to give you guys a little present here and go ahead and explain 2 things about the film that I had actually left out earlier on. But now, the first part I'm going to talk about is the soundtrack itself. Now, of course, there's not really as big of a soundtrack as I hoped I would be able to compose, but that's mainly because I just don't have that many sound pools to work with. And I'm mainly using the 6 sound pools that I have for Magic's Music Maker 2017 to work on any of my own music compositions. And I also do feel like that any of the sound pools wouldn't necessarily work well with a soundtrack that is dedicated to, well, a series and a film that is bent on action, adventure, reality, and otherwise of that sort. But I feel like that the music itself was still pretty nice. I originally wanted to go ahead and just put in small titches of actual songs in there, songs that would come from bands like All American Rejects and Weezer, but the truth about that part is that I actually ended up releasing a prototype version of the project itself onto the internet, and within seconds I started getting blinged with copyright notices. So I immediately took that video down, and by the time I uploaded the final project, the finished one that was completely finished up, even though I already said that I kind of left a few parts out of it, but that's probably excusable considering the fact that, well, some plot points aren't always mentioned in certain film, TV incarnations, or video games of any sorts. So, Bolts of Intrigue, of course, don't exactly talk about certain parts of the whole plot line, but that's probably alright for now. But, of course, like I said, the prototype version of the project itself, which, of course, was given the code number 323, was uploaded in the same exact amount of time frame as the final finished project itself was. The only difference between the prototype version and the final finished version was that, of course, the prototype version had a lot of copyrighted songs on there in smaller segments that were usually well under 30 seconds at a time, but somehow that just didn't work. So it just couldn't work somehow. Maybe they had changed their notices, they probably changed their policies on that part, but in any case, I just simply took down the prototype version right away. I never really left it up any longer because I would just not want my channel to be demonetized in any case. Even though, well, I should mention that even to this very day, I still get, well, the option to look for copyright notices on any of my videos. And even though I click on it, it always tells me no videos are found. I mean, what's the deal with that, Google? What's the deal with that? But that's besides the point now, because the final finished project does have royalty-free songs on there that, of course, as the names themselves imply, they are royalty-free, meaning that I will not get struck by copyright notices or anything like that. I certainly won't get a copyright strike just for using the songs on the film itself. So, of course, that also would explain why, of course, it'll still say no videos were found every time I try to check copyright notices. I mean, there's just no point in that, really. there were a total of 5 royalty-free songs from various artists and producers out there of royalty-free music that I had used in the film itself. And in the credits, of course, they are given to their proper owners, despite the fact that they are royalty-free. And I can use them without having to, well, you know, give out names to the owners of the original sounds to them. So I still feel like I did the right thing by just simply labeling the artists' names or the creators' names of these songs, despite the fact that they're royalty-free. So I feel like I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone by doing 2 right things here. Having copyrighted music not present at all in any of my work, and simply giving credit to the owners of the songs that I was using in the film itself. So that's pretty much just that part there. I still feel kind of bummed out that I really am not able to use even less than 30 seconds of certain copyrighted songs by any means, because they all got mentioned. They all got copyright notices on them. So that's pretty goofy right there in a way. But I guess I'm going to have to move on to the second part, the whole thing itself. The time frame. Now the time frame itself is only 25 minutes in length. Pretty close to 26, but I did originally intend for the time frame of the entire film itself to be 94 minutes in length. 94. Yeah, you heard me right. Now the reason why I couldn't really put off with that certain idea, and the reason why I couldn't really stick up to that idea pretty well, was because of, well, I've got 3 jobs I'm working with. Of course, I've already talked much about the other 2 jobs I'm working at, and here on YouTube, this is just another one of my jobs here. I'm trying my best to see how much extra money I'm able to earn at a time and not make myself bored as possible. I mean, I'm certainly doing whatever it takes at this point to really do well on YouTube, to really be a great creator, and, well, giving back to the community should be a must for anyone out there who watches YouTube videos. So I've been watching YouTube for years, and now I'm creating things on YouTube for years. And that is what I have been doing at this point. But right now, I'm just simply going to go and say that the time frame itself is probably not as well something that I really would look up to in the future, based on the fact that, well, this is how far I've gone in Nerf Secrets Revealed. Just over 6 years I've spent on the series itself. I've dedicated a lot of life to it, a lot of labor to it, and I've dedicated a lot of context into it that really can relate to other content of mine that I have created over the years. But at this point, Nerf Secrets Revealed really gets a lot that I can really hope to have in the future. And I'm hoping other people who tend to watch any episodes of Nerf Secrets Revealed today can really look up to it at some point. That I myself am a really good content creator of a lot of originality and the like that ties into, well, inspiration from a lot of other users out there who have created their own content of their own liking. So I feel like that's just about it. The use of royalty-free music and, well, I guess a shorter timestamp on it of about 25 minutes, closer to 26 minutes though, is still okay. Because this is, after all, my first ever time working on a feature film. If it's full length, short length, medium length, whatever, I still feel like that it was quite a project that I managed to put together. And it did take me 9 hours to complete in total, in terms of filming it, editing it, exporting it, uploading it to my channel, and all that other good stuff. So that's it. That is all I have to talk about right now of Nerf Secrets Revealed Bolts of Intrigue. If I ever do release a sequel to it, of course I will come around within the next year or so about anything in regards to details about it, but at this point, consider it something that won't be something that's in the making for now. But anyhow, if you want to stick around for some more Nerf Secrets Revealed related content, and if you want to see more go down on my channel, make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.